My younger sister was driven mad by her idol, even plotting to steal the star's ID card to register their marriage. She came to me, who worked at the civil affairs office. After all, you don't need a household registration book to get married anymore. Once I steal his ID, sis, please help me, and Ethan stamped the marriage certificate. Our parents disagreed, telling me to persuade my sister not to do anything foolish. Under my advice, she gave up the idea and went to register her marriage with her blind date. 3 years later, one of Ethan's female fans loudly flaunted her marriage certificate. The ID was stolen, but not the person. They held a wedding of the century that made everyone envious. My sister blamed me for ruining her good fortune. My parents also blamed me for meddling in other people's affairs. While I was asleep, my sister smothered me to death with a pillow. My parents even helped her dispose of the body in the night. When I opened my eyes again, I was back at the moment she pleaded with me to forge documents. I can't believe you don't need a household registration book to get married anymore. So, can I steal my idol's ID card and marry him? This new policy is amazing. It's easier to get married than to open a dating space on QQ. It would be a waste not to seize this chance. Right, Mom? My sister, Stella, lay on the sofa, wearing pajamas identical to Ethan's. Hearing that marriage no longer required a household registration book, she was overjoyed. My mother disagreed but couldn't bring herself to say anything harsh that would hurt her daughter. Darling then turned to look at me. Lily, what do you think? Hearing that familiar voice, I jolted awake. The sensation of being unable to breathe still lingered from my previous life. My sister, Stella, was obsessed with her idol to the point of madness. When she heard that marriage no longer required a household registration book, she secretly sought me out. She wanted to steal her idol's ID and asked me to forge a marriage certificate for her. That way, she could easily become his official wife. My parents firmly disagreed, telling me to talk sense into my sister. I advised her to calm down, explaining that not only would it have no legal effect, but she'd also be cursed to death by Ethan H. Sue's fans. Fortunately, she listened. After graduation, she went to register her marriage with her blind date, living a life free from financial worries. However, 3 years later, Ethan got married, and a female fan publicly declared their love. The ID was stolen, but not the person. They held a wedding of the century that made everyone envious. My sister watched the entire process via livestream, crying until the world went dark. My parents were also heartbroken at losing a potential asset and blamed me for meddling in other people's affairs. It seemed I could never please them. The whole family resented me. That night, my sister put sleeping pills in my milk and smothered me to death with a pillow. My parents not only didn't scold her but even comforted her, saying it was karma for me ruining someone else's destiny. Living again, if she wanted to steal an ID to get married, I would let her. I would never be a foolish victim again, so I smiled nonchalantly at my mother. Mom, my sister is truly the most thoughtful, always knowing how to find you a good son-in-law. Mom shot me a glare, then advised Stella, that's not a good idea. Who knows how dirty those stars are behind the scenes? It's better to find someone with a clear background. Stella immediately became unhappy, throwing the throw pillow directly at Mom's head. How many of those clear background people you know, Mom, are both handsome and rich? I'm trying to find you a good son-in-law and you're still not happy. I think you just don't want to see me happy. After that, she angrily ran back to her room. After she left, Mom sighed and complained to me, I'm old and no one listens. You're her older sister, why don't you try persuading her again? If Mom couldn't get through to her, what good would I be? It was always like this, her idea, but I was the one who got into trouble. But I wouldn't fall for it again, so I patted her shoulder. Mom, my sister is smart and sensible. She definitely knows her limits. You can be 100% at ease. My mother wanted to say something more but swallowed her words, acknowledging my decision. The next day, my sister began planning to steal the ID card. Coincidentally, 2 weeks later, Ethan HSU was holding a movie promotion event in our city. It was rumored that he himself would be present. Stella planned to disguise herself as staff to sneak backstage and rummage through Ethan's bag. I truly couldn't fathom this flawed plan and naive brain. Who says an ID card must be in a bag, and who says a movie star carries a bag to an event? But these things had nothing to do with me. I remained silent throughout. That evening, after our parents returned, Stella told them her plan and extended her hand, asking for money. Give me $20,000, it's for bribing security. My father was still lucid, heartbroken. Stealing will land you in jail. Besides, even if you do steal his ID, he won't agree to marry you. Stella lost her patience. Dad, are you giving it or not? My mother pushed the blame onto me. Ask your sister. I don't have any money. I was washing dishes in the kitchen, deliberately shouting loudly, Mom, I transferred my last month's salary to your card. When will you give me my living expenses? My mother sighed and transferred $20,000 to Stella. On the day of the movie promotion, I went to work early. Around noon, I suddenly received a call from Stella. Sis, save me. I was startled and asked directly, did you get caught? No, Ethan HSU didn't even show up, but I figured since I was already there, I shouldn't leave empty-handed, so I checked things out a bit. Who knew their safe had an alarm system? They blocked the door and called the police. I can't get out, what do I do? Oh, checked things out a bit indeed, checking out their safe. I suppressed the urge to curse and hung up. Then I found Mom's number. Hello, Mom. My sister won the lottery at Cinema No. 1 downtown. Hurry and go see. Hearing about a prize, my boastful mother immediately dragged her mahjong friends there. Less than an hour later, a video call came through. As soon as it connected, chaotic noises erupted. In the video, Stella and Ethan's manager were pulling each other's hair, fighting. How dare you hit me? When Ethan marries me, you'll be the first one fired. I'm hitting you, hand over the sponsored jewelry. My mother's face was full of worry. Lily, hurry and mediate, they want to sue your sister for breaking and entering. I quickly spoke dismissively. Mom, what time do I have? Unless I want to lose my job, you'll have to handle it yourself. Then I hung up. That evening, Mom and Stella returned, their faces bruised. Neither said a word. All I knew was that 2 months later, Mom managed to quit her mahjong addiction, and my sister turned from a fan into an anti-fan of Ethan HSU. I thought my sister would settle down after that, but to my surprise, she started reading novels about stalkers and insisted on pretending to be a stalker to follow Ethan. You don't understand, sis. Becoming an anti-fan from a fan is a strategy. Men only cherish what they've lost. If I follow him for 10 days or half a month, he'll definitely be so scared he'll fall hopelessly in love with me. I couldn't comprehend if the world had gone this insane. Who with a brain not eaten by zombies would like a stalker? But my words came out as, my sister, you truly understand men. So, Stella hastily bought a black outfit and went to stalk the idol. During the day, she climbed trees to watch filming. At night, she followed his car, inhaling exhaust fumes. Through her relentless efforts, the idol finally called the police. However, at the police station, my sister insisted she was merely passing by. The road is so wide, why can he walk here but I can't? So what if I like inhaling his car's exhaust? Don't let her unhappy face fool you. She was probably ecstatic inside, thinking, if he doesn't love me, why would he sue me? I was speechless. Ethan sighed wearily. In the end, he chose to withdraw the complaint. I won't stoop to a madwoman's level, but why are mental hospitals so lax? Why do they let people run out? Before leaving, he whispered to me, please keep a close eye on your sister. Her condition is already terminal. I didn't know how to respond, so I forced an awkward smile. After leaving the police station, my sister kept pressing me. What exactly did Ethan say to you? Tell me quickly. I want to tattoo his words on my heart. I originally intended to repeat it verbatim, but hearing her, I changed my approach. He said, I hope you'll watch over her carefully for me, protect her, shelter her, confine her. She's been poisoned by love, and it's a terminal stage. I cannot let her be free. A total of 44 characters, including punctuation. I'll write it down for you later. If you want a tattoo, extending 20 characters to 44 isn't too much, right? My sister listened, mesmerized, lost in an unrequited love she couldn't escape. After I gave her the paper, she immediately went out to find a tattoo parlor that very night. After this incident, my sister, instead of giving up, became even more zealous. She even felt she had a unique connection with her idol, a truly rare step forward. So, she returned to her novels, beginning to research new strategies. After a night, she emerged with dark circles under her eyes and asked me, Sis, have you heard the story of best friends of equal value and reason? I shook my head vigorously. My sister's eyes lit up again. It means you marry the assistant and I marry the idol. Then we both get divorced and run away together. I was utterly astonished and didn't understand why we had to run away together. Didn't you always want to marry the idol? My sister looked at me with the eyes of someone looking at a country bumpkin. You don't understand. This is a love game. If we have children, we can even act out the scene of father and son chasing their wives. The crematorium smells wonderful. What kind of situation would lead to such a high divorce rate? But indeed, everything smells good after being cremated. This was the truth. I shook my head decisively after hearing her. I don't like dumb assistants. If you want to follow him, go by yourself, don't drag me into it. But my sister wouldn't accept it. Don't you know this concerns my lifelong happiness? On what grounds do you refuse to help me fulfill my dream? I retorted, didn't you say best friends of equal value? You and I aren't best friends. My sister thought about it and conceded, you're right. A boring woman like you doesn't even deserve an assistant. Don't ruin my good fortune. Then she picked up her phone and called her best friend. The two began secretly planning how to make the idol chase his wife to the crematorium. Meanwhile, my mother's savings began to dwindle sharply. After losing another sum, Mom couldn't help but question me. I told you to put your salary in my card because I was afraid you'd squander it. But you're so clever, playing faint to the east, strike to the west, aren't you? You have one day to return the $50,000 you spent from the card to me, understand? In my previous life, I also thought my parents were keeping my money for my own good, so I submitted my salary on time every month. But last time, when my sister graduated from university and went on a blind date to get married, my parents took all $100,000 of my savings and gave it to my sister. Their elegant excuse was, you don't have a boyfriend now, money is useless to you. She didn't say it, and I almost forgot this family still owed me $100,000. No, I had to find a way to get it back. What card? When did I spend money? My mother roared. Only you know my bank card password. Don't pretend. I laughed coldly. Mom's bank card password is Stella's birthday. How could only I know it? My mother froze, quickly looking at Stella. My sister was continuously making transfers, 3,000 to 4,000 at a time. When Mom saw her, she immediately hid her phone. What are you looking at? Don't you know about privacy? Stella, who are you talking to? Why are you borrowing so much money? My mother asked softly, afraid of making Stella angry. Stella smugly replied, not borrowing, this is money for the wedding preparation. Wedding? My mother jumped. Mine, of course, Stella grandly announced. The 8th of next month is my grand wedding with Ethan. Mom and Dad, remember to come? My mother and I stood frozen. Mom couldn't help but ask if it was one of those paper weddings that fans often held. Stella laughed scornfully. Who would want that self-deceiving ritual? The wedding I'm talking about is a real ceremony. If you don't believe me, look. This is my chat history with Ethan. My mother and I leaned in to see. Aside from the profile picture being Ethan HSU himself, I saw no connection between the chat partner and the idol. Yet my sister believed it wholeheartedly. My mother wasn't an idol chaser, but her mind was sound. She immediately recognized it was a scam and quickly called the police. The next day, my sister painfully lost 68,000 yuan and her wedding to the idol. I wish this were real. Money isn't important. This was my dream wedding. My mother at the police station wept bitterly. I wish this were fake. Wedding or not isn't important. Money is my life. I almost burst out laughing. I secretly told Grandma the news. If my mother favored my sister due to partiality, then my grandmother was equally biased, but fairly favoring males. As soon as she got home, my grandmother scolded them fiercely. How many times have I told you, money needs to be seen to be safe. Only then can I be at ease. Now look, you've been scammed. Are you happy? You good-for-nothing spendthrifts. From today, withdraw all remaining 132,000 from the card into cash. I'll keep it. That's the safest way. My mother disagreed and wanted Dad to say a few words, but Dad was inherently timid, best at playing ostrich, not daring to even let out a fart. In the end, my mother reluctantly handed over the housekeeping authority. That night, through the indoor surveillance camera, I saw Grandma hide the cash under a potted plant. A shadowy figure stealthily crept towards the flower pot. Waiting for that person to take out a few bills, I held a tree waiting for a rabbit. I extended my hand, and Dad was so scared he almost passed out. Seeing that he would have to share, he reluctantly gave me a few bills. SHHH, don't let your mom and grandma know. From that day on, the number of times we went to the living room to admire flowers was more than the number of times we went to the bathroom. Stella came chasing after me, her face full of resentment. If you don't agree, I'll continue spreading rumors to get your workplace to fire you. If this job of yours can't help me, then don't do it anymore. I let out a cold laugh and walked straight into the elevator. Fine, then let Mom and Dad eat dirt. As soon as my parents heard this, they immediately rushed out, dragging my sister to apologize to me. But I had already hidden on the 15th floor stairwell. While my parents were out, I quickly went home, turned off the camera, overturned the flower pot, and replaced the 100,000 hidden at the bottom with practice money. My salary would definitely not benefit these people. After doing all this, I didn't even dare to take the elevator, grabbing my suitcase and running down 20 flights of stairs. Reclaiming what belonged to me, the dark night felt strangely warm. In the apartment complex, my parents were anxiously searching while I had already caught a taxi and left. The next day, Stella, as expected, didn't let me off the hook, continuing to spread rumors online. She claimed that the female party, me, was depressed and wanted to jump from a building, and the male party, imaginary, constantly subjected her to domestic violence, but I stubbornly refused to divorce. She even called to threaten me. "We're biological sisters. Do we need to go this far? Help me and the idol get a marriage certificate, and I'll help clear your name online. Wouldn't the whole family be happy? Fine then, I'll also spread online that you're making fake documents. Shall we go down in a blaze of glory?" The other side said nothing and hung up directly. A week later, my workplace clarified the whole incident, issuing a public statement online. They also sent the female party for a health checkup, proving there were no injuries, and stated that if the female party did not wish to forgive, she could invite a lawyer to proceed with divorce procedures. As soon as the news broke, Stella's account was locked. From then on, she never appeared before me again. However, half a month later, she suddenly came to my office, carrying 2 bright red marriage certificates. "Ha ha ha, ho 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 ho, oh my goodness, see, I finally married my idol?" In broad daylight, I saw Stella hold up the red book, her face full of satisfaction. Frightened, I quickly snatched the document to inspect it carefully, worried it might be real. Fortunately, the moment I held it, I knew it was fake. The paper quality was wrong, and the seal's position was off. One look told me it wasn't made at the Civil Affairs office. "Give that back." Stella hastily snatched back the fake document. "Who said you could look? If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have had to spend another 2,000 yuan. Ignoring her madness, I asked directly, "Didn't Mom and Dad advise you?" Stella smugly replied, "Mom herself helped me find someone to forge the seal." I couldn't believe Mom actually dared to help her. They truly were birds of a feather. With the marriage certificate, my sister even changed her WeChat profile picture to a wedding photo and went on Weibo to boast that the idol was married, showing the marriage certificate to fans. Important information was blurred out. "If you want to blame someone, blame yourselves for being ugly. My Ethan only likes beautiful people like me. Marriage is a fact legally recognized. See? Photos and proof. Warning all actresses in the industry, stay away from my Ethan, he's a married man." Fans directly called it a photoshopped image and used an 8x magnifying glass to point out the incorrect seal position on the marriage certificate. Logically speaking, a normal person wouldn't believe it. But unfortunately, the entertainment industry is a melting pot, and there are always people who want to muddy the waters. Immediately, paparazzi caught wind of it and sought out my sister to confirm the news, even offering 300,000 yuan to buy detailed information from the marriage certificate. My sister, to show her status as the official wife, immediately agreed. After receiving the money, she called me to boast. "Look at you, sis, stuck with a dead-end salary after graduation. You haven't saved 300,000 yuan in 5 years, have you? Not like me, just by being the idol's wife, I'll make money effortlessly later." I gave her a thumbs up. "Great, the burden of supporting the family is on you then." "Oh right, I handed over all my salary, so you should give your money to Mom and Dad too." Stella refused. "On what grounds? Only a fool would do that. My money is mine. No one can take a single cent." After hanging up, I scrolled through Weibo. Ethan HSU's secret marriage had climbed to the top of the search trends. Fans were vigorously trying to clear his name, while the agency was trying to suppress the hot search. I found it strange. Logically, shouldn't this be very easy to clarify, especially when the ID and marriage certificate were both fake? But very quickly, more paparazzi appeared, claiming they had photographed the idol dating a fan late at night. This truly was a bomb thrown into the water. Fans who had been controlling comments all rushed to the studio's Weibo to leave messages, urging Ethan HSU to quickly deny it. However, the studio remained silent as death. By Monday, only a few people came to register marriages at my office. During a break, I opened Weibo, and the news of Ethan HSU's secret marriage had exploded, so hot the characters were purple. I quickly clicked to view it. The paparazzi had posted a video. In the dark night, two blurry figures hand in hand under the streetlights. The girl's coat was orange-yellow, very similar to my sister's. The more I watched, the more surprised I became. Could Stella really be with Ethan HSU? If so, she truly had some skill. Who knew the fake marriage certificate might soon become real? At the end, the paparazzi showed the marriage certificate, clearly listing my sister's and the idol's names. Countless fans cried. The idol began to lose fans. Indeed, in novels, after the male and female leads in the entertainment industry get together, all the congratulations are the author's imagination. In reality, they curse and then switch to following another star. Immediately after, a phone call came through. It was Stella. As soon as it connected, she was crying and laughing, as excited as if she'd won the lottery. I told you he can't escape my grasp. The marriage certificate is here. Idol or top star, he has to accept reality. You regret it now, don't you, losing an idol as a brother-in-law? Fine, just kowtow to me 3 times and I'll forgive you. Besides, Ethan loves me, so what if I force the marriage? It's pathetic. I asked, exasperated. How can you tell he loves you? Stella declared confidently, he didn't object, isn't that love? Men want to refuse but secretly welcome it. You don't understand, this is a love game. I truly don't understand. I hung up. That evening, Stella was even more audacious, opening a live stream to confront the fans directly. Thanks to the hotness of the secret marriage scandal, the number of live stream viewers easily surpassed 1 million, and there were even many gifts. A single live stream earned an estimated hundreds of thousands. Stella immediately became a celebrity in the entertainment industry. Many web dramas began sending her scripts, becoming a star overnight. The next day, Ethan HSU's studio finally rose from the grave. He first posted a statement saying he didn't know Stella, then went to the police to sue Stella for defamation and invasion of personal privacy. Most importantly, Ethan HSU admitted that he was indeed married, but his wife was not Stella but his childhood sweetheart, a compatible partner from a similar background with whom he grew up. This news was nothing short of a thunderclap for fans. The only thing that made people feel a little better was that the idol didn't deny it. He admitted it frankly. The person who couldn't accept it the most was Stella. She went completely insane. My parents called me, begging me to come back and persuade her not to overthink things. I was waiting to see a good show, so I went home right after work. Opening the door, I was met with utter chaos. The house, which I had once destroyed, was now destroyed again by Stella. My parents were cleaning up. Stella sat on the sofa, tearing up Ethan HSU's photos one by one. Why do I love him so much? Why? I casually tossed a fruit from the sofa into the fruit bowl. Because he has a girlfriend from a matching family background. That's not love. There's no novelty. It must be an arranged family marriage. Yes, it must be. His parents must have forced him to marry someone he doesn't love. I sat on the sofa and burst out laughing when I heard that. Forced to marry a woman who graduated from an Ivy League school, who is beautiful, liberal, and brings hundreds of billions in family assets. If that were me, I'd be ecstatic. Stop reading romance novels. In reality, it's a family alliance, mutually beneficial. Stella frantically shook her head. I don't believe it, no way. Ding, ding, ding. The doorbell rang. My father was surprised. Who could it be so late? I feigned ignorance, stood up, and opened the door. Stella, come out quickly. Your idol is at our door. When Ethan HSU appeared in the house, Stella excitedly jumped up. Ethan, you're here. Ethan looked at me with a headache. Why hasn't your family sent her to a mental hospital yet? I shrugged. My parents won't allow it. Seeing my parents, Ethan's face turned completely cold. Initially, I intended to treat her as an ordinary person, unemployed after university, so I didn't dwell on it much. But today, I truly can't tolerate it anymore. This time, I'm here to inform you all to await the court summons. And your name is Stella, correct? I'll remember you, just wait to go to prison. As soon as these words were spoken, Stella collapsed softly to the ground. My parents also panicked. My mother even pulled out her old trick. Cry, make a scene, threaten suicide. How could I have known a fake document would cause such a big problem? We just made it for fun. We didn't trick anyone out of money. Those funds were given willingly by others. It has nothing to do with my Stella. You're a star and a man. You haven't lost anything from this. Why go to court? It's so unsightly. Ethan HSU took a deep breath. Auntie, when it comes to acting, you're not as good as me. There's a limit to what one can do wrong. No one will forever pay for your daughter's mistakes. My father immediately knelt down, but Ethan HSU was completely unmoved. Stella still hadn't given up. You're an idol, which means public property. On what grounds did you get married? On what grounds did you get married without your fans' permission? Ethan HSU was provoked to anger. Because I love her. We grew up together, our parents know each other, our family backgrounds are similar. I earned money precisely to marry her. Stella threw an apple. Nonsense. If you wanted to get married, you shouldn't have been in this profession. Ethan HSU tilted his head to dodge, then left without looking back. A week later, Stella indeed received a court summons. At court, she denied forging the seal and brazenly declared, "Divorce still has a 60-day reconciliation period. On what grounds can they declare a marriage invalid? I won't divorce him. I'll drag him down with me." However, the judge ignored these remarks and directly ruled on the charge of forging official seals. As soon as the 3-year prison sentence was announced, Stella was so terrified she fainted. When she regained consciousness, she wept hysterically. "I'm not wrong. What's wrong with wanting to get married? Ethan HSU is the one who's wrong. Why did he hide his ID so well? Otherwise, I wouldn't have had to bother forging one. Woo-woo, I don't want to go to prison. Mom, Dad, I don't want to go to prison." To save my sister, my parents believed a scammer, emptying all their savings from home, just hoping to get my sister out. But the scammer took the money and fled. My father, due to extreme agitation, suffered a stroke and collapsed. My mother began a life of running back and forth between the prison and the hospital. 1 year later, I visited her in prison. Stella's face was chillingly dark. Through the glass, her eyes bulged as if they were about to fall out. Why? Why didn't you advise me this time? If you hadn't stopped me, I could have married Daniel for life and lived a happy, peaceful life." Daniel, Stella's husband in the previous life, had long since married his blind date. "You sought out Daniel yourself, then regretted not stealing the idol's ID to marry him? I helped you fulfill your wish, so why blame me?" Stella said bitterly, "That girl claimed to be a fan. I thought she was truly Ethan HSU's fan who ran off to steal his ID. Who knew she was a rich young lady?" I couldn't help but laugh through tears. "Someone used you, and you actually believe a man's ID is that easy to steal? Stella, you're truly brainless, now and always." But she fundamentally refused to reflect on herself, still arguing that Ethan HSU had first flirted with fans on stage. "I merely did what fans always wanted to do." The more she spoke, the more vehement she became, finally pointing at me and placing the blame. "The fault lies with you for not helping me steal his ID. If I had really gotten it, I wouldn't have had to forge it and go to prison." I clapped my hands through the glass. "Excellent, keep up the good work." Amidst Stella's wailing, I left the detention center. At the hospital, only my father's eyeballs could move. My mother, using the excuse of bringing him food, had long since gone dancing in the square with the caretaker from the next bed. During dinner, I showed Mom's latest social media posts. She had completely transformed, sporting the most fashionable perm. My current joy was telling Dad every day about Mom's latest activities. "Dad, you don't know, Mr. Wang has moved into our house. Your closet has also been cleared out for Mr. Wang's clothes. Don't worry, after you're gone, Mom will take very good care of herself." My father's mouth twisted, and he immediately passed out. That night, my mother came to me saying she wanted a divorce. "This damned old man, after marrying him, I haven't had a single happy day. Now he's lying in bed and he wants me to serve him for the rest of his life. On what grounds? Where am I going to suffer here? Old Wang is different. His house is full of children and grandchildren. It'll be lively there. You don't care, just stamp the divorce papers, right?" I disdained her cavalier attitude towards the law. "Mom, are you missing my sister and want to go live with her?" Mentioning my sister, my mother no longer had her former proud and arrogant demeanor. Ever since she was scammed 300,000 yuan trying to bail my sister out, she had blamed this debt on my sister. "You heartless wretch, stop saying such inauspicious things. If you won't help, at least don't mock me. I've seen through it all, you're the most heartless one in this family." I didn't deny it. Anyway, true feelings never had a good ending. After a year of torment, my mother finally got divorced, but she had to pay to hire a caretaker for my father. She found the cheapest one, 700 yuan a month. I went to the hospital a few times to observe. The caretaker treated my father like a punching bag, slapping him repeatedly, and was even reported by other patients. But the outcome didn't change because my mother refused to pay for a better person. After remarrying, my mother completely became a housekeeper at home, taking and picking up children every day, cooking 3 meals, and still having to take the children to talent classes. If she didn't take good care of them, she would get a good beating. One day, by chance, she learned from my grandmother about where the tens of thousands were hidden. She went home to find the money, planning to escape. The result was a pile of practice money. The Wang family, who had been monitoring her, discovered the money was gone, and she received another beating. If that family hadn't still needed a housekeeper, the Wang family would have almost beaten my mother into being disabled like my father. I turned off the camera, never wanting to remember how my parents had helped bury my body in the previous life. After Ethan H. Sue's secret marriage was exposed, he intentionally reduced his workload, gradually moving behind the scenes. Now he was considered semi-retired. The entertainment industry changed extremely quickly. Other stars immediately replaced him. When Stella was released from prison, there were no longer any posters of Ethan HSU on the streets, yet she was still lost in her delusion of being the idol's wife and was sent to a mental hospital. Now, my work is increasingly busy. Few people get married, but the lines for divorce are long.